So I was wondering if we should just call this Long Form Friday.
Sure.
And then hope it goes out on Friday. Because it might not.
Long form someday.
Welcome to Blade Paper and Popcorn. I'm Mike.
I'm Eric. I almost forgot to say that. It's been a while.
We are going to just talk. We thought we would just do a thing where we talk about a topic or discussion, and we just blab about it until we're done blabbing about it.
Yeah.
And if you like what we do, like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then and we'll get into this.
And if you don't like what we do, give us a thumbs down, and then you'll disappear, but it still counts as engagement.
And if you watch throughout the video, comment whatever you feel like saying in the comment section.
Yeah.
It's the best thing to help us.
Yeah, go for it. So yeah, what are we talking about?
So today,
you had a plan.
Today, I felt like we should talk about subtitled movies or dubbed movies. Whatever that works in. There was a movie that I wanted to watch on Netflix called Space Sweepers, and it looked like a very, very, very interesting movie to watch, and it seemed as though it was only in subtitled.
Yeah,
but it's not. Eric told me that it's dubbed, and it is.
It is. There is a dub there.
I just don't know how I just don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching a show on Netflix called Better Than Us, and it's made in Russia. So I actually had the subtitles on for like half of the first episode, and then I switched to the dub, and I had both on at the same time, and it was completely different. It didn't line up at all. It was really funny. But even though the dubbed voices they picked are kind of annoying, like it's not great voice acting, I'm still watching it.
I absolutely hate. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my camera here and pulling it in a little bit more. I felt like I was too far away. Okay.
There you go.
So that's almost the worst when they pick the absolute worst voices, and that would to me be a con on dubbing the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the voices are the whiniest, weirdest, don't match the character at all. And it almost pulls you out of the movie, almost ruins it.
Yeah. Well, and I was watching that show, and then I started to watch a movie or something. I forget what it's called, like Down by the Lake or something, or Go to the Lake, some kind of virus thing. And one of the main characters, at least in the first part, was one of the characters from that Better Than Us show, but it was also dubbed in a voice that fit the character 1,000 times better than what the guy looked like. I mean, than the one they picked in Better Than Us. So it was like, I was like, why does he sound like that? Oh, right, that's not his real voice. I've been listening to a fake voice this whole time, and now my brain just can't get around the fact that I'm not actually hearing his real voice at all. You know?
Yeah, that's very weird. And I assume it's really hard to find dub actors. Like, you can get you can't get A-level actors to do a dub in a movie.
Right,
except for Jackie Chan.
Right.
Because Jackie Chan dubs
they're always good.
His own voice, which is fantastic. However, Jackie Chan makes so many movies a year, and I don't watch any of them because they're dubbed. Because they're not dubbed, because they're subtitled, because they're all in China, and I can't watch them. I cannot watch a subtitled movie. I cannot read the words at the bottom and see the pictures up top. I lose something. Now, luckily, at least in Jackie Chan movies, it's mostly action and then talking. You know, they don't talk a lot during the action. So you could get away with it, but it's not as enjoyable for me to watch a subtitled movie.
Well, and some people say that you should. Like, there's a lot of there's a lot of anime stuff that I don't like. There's been a couple shows that have kind of drawn me in, like Sword Art Online is pretty good. Attack on Titan was or Attack of the Titans. I don't know what the hell it's called even. But people say there's some people that are so against dubbing that that they're like, no, you have to watch it with subtitles. That's the way that you should watch it. It's like, but I can't. I have ADD, so it's like I'm just reading the whole time, and I just get distracted from what's happening. And so I put the dub on, and people are like, "Oh, this is a way worse way to watch it." I'm like, "Well, that's how I'm watching it, though. If it's not good, then I'll just skip it and be like, well, it's probably not good then, even if it's just because the voices are bad." But I don't know. I just can't. The words running across the bottom of the screen is just like I'm just reading them, like looking down the whole time.
And you're a really good quick reader, and I know this. So you would have an easier job of being able to read and move on. Right. But with me, I read slowly. So even when I'm trying to read, I've lost the scene. It's gone away halfway through my reading. And now I'm really done because I have a hard time focusing. I can't focus on all that stuff that's going on at once. So I'm going to get pulled away and then look back down and then pulled away. I can't do it. And like you said, some people absolutely love subtitled movies.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like, oh, you hear the actual actor's voice and they do a really good performance. I'm like, yeah, but they're doing the performance in Russian.
So I don't know what they're saying.
Maybe they're good. I don't know, but
could be the worst.
I don't want to read it. Yeah, it could be terrible. And that's the thing. Like, it seems like the people that they get to dub some things, it's just like a guy, like they go out to like where the administrative assistants work and are like, can you speak English? Can you speak English? Yeah. Come on. Yeah, we're just gonna make you voice a main character for about 24 hours in a row, and then we'll just put you in.
That would be cheaper if they just got one guy to voice everybody.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, as long as they're better at voices than Diana, because that would just be the same voice the whole time.
I was working into that. I was definitely working into somewhere. If they got one guy that could do multiple voices, not like Diana, who is this.
We always bag on Diana for that, but I feel super uncomfortable by myself recording myself. Like, there's been a few times where I've tried to record things by myself, and it's super uncomfortable. So the fact that she could even do it at all and get it done, where I'm just like, this is really awful.
I mean, we have to give her credit. So dubbing is a lot harder than maybe we think.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many voice actors that are, the reason that you keep hearing the same voice actors over and over is because it's hard to get a good one.
And they're really good.
Yeah. And like Mark Hamill.
Well, the thing about a voice actor is you have to be able to do multiple voices. They want one bill for multiple people. That is the best financial way they can do it, which is weird because you would think, well, I'm going to get you to say this many words and I'll pay you for this many words. If I double those words, then I double your pay, but it's not like that. Right. It's just, we're going to give you 6 different characters, do them.
Yeah. Well, and they do it in different ways too. It'll be like, because like Rick and Morty, both Rick and Morty are the same guy.
Which blew me away.
And, yeah. And he's just having a drunken conversation with himself. And then for Bob's Burgers, to get that like conversational tone, they actually record their lines together. So they actually have an actual conversation. Like, and they might do it from a distance. Like they'll do it like some people are recording somewhere and then they'll pipe in the audio to the other place so that they can have the conversation, kind of like our Zoom call.
Oh, okay.
And they just have a straight up conversation, and that's why it sounds like that.
Now, I wonder if that
actually is like that.
I wonder if that makes it better. And what kind of pulls away from dubbing a movie is I find the audio seems forward heavy. Like it seems recorded. It doesn't seem to have the depth that somebody moving around a room might actually have, right? It's in a perfect recording studio. There's no crisper sound than a recording studio. And in a cartoon, that's fine.
Yeah.
But in a movie, it's weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Well, and there's something to be said for that. You're like, it's like, we've already recorded the scene. You have this much time to say the line, so just read what we give you. Because you can't ad-lib because we're not recording it for you. It's already been done.
That's right. Read exactly what we said. Don't play around with it. So you got to be a fairly good actor, which is probably why most dubbing things sound like garbage.
Because it's hard.
Because it's really, really hard. Because you're not in the scene. You're not feeling it the same way. Now, voice actors, I mean, they have the same thing, though. They're not really in the scene for the most part.
But usually they record the voices before they animate to match it up. So you can just like say like Robin Williams and the Genie. They just went like, here's our structure, go. and then they animated him into it, and they matched the mouth to the recording. With the other way, you have to, like, you don't have to match the mouth to recording, because you can't match, say, like a Japanese dubbed anime to the dub, because their words work completely differently than ours. But it's still like there's like these time constraints. It's like, this is how long the line is, go, you know. Like,
yeah, hopefully the amount of syllables kind of matches the same one. But one interesting, I think I may be getting it wrong, and I hope I'm not, but when I was younger and I was into a lot of Troma films, Troma's fantastic for a B-level movie producing company. They made a movie called, they didn't make the movie, but it's called Ferocious Female Freedom Fighters. And I believe this is the one they did it. It's like a Japanese or Chinese or Asian movie of some sort, and they dubbed it, but with totally different words, and just made it hilarious. Like in one part, I think they were punching a punching bag, and they made like guy sounds. So it was like guy in the bag. It was very, very, very funny, because it was not the words at all, and they just ran with their own story and put it on top. And I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I would honestly love to do that as a video. It's just dub over somebody else's movie with my own stuff, what I think. And it wasn't like bad lip reading where they tried to make it match at all.
Yeah, it was just completely awful.
Yeah, just completely. And it was very silly, very hilarious. And they basically wrote a different movie with the same scenes that were going on. So there was different reasons why everything happened. It was very, very funny.
Yeah, that's
one of my favorite dubbed movies. But again, so like, I feel like I miss out on a lot of fantastic, especially Jackie Chan. I love Jackie Chan. So I'm missing out on a lot of really good Jackie Chan movies, because I won't watch dubbed movies, and I can't watch subbed movies.
I haven't looked into it much, but there are sometimes fan dubs made where it's like you can find it online and somebody has like translated it for you. But that's kind of like a movie gray area where you're not really supporting Jackie Chan, because it's probably stole, like you're pirating it from somewhere with somebody that's dubbed over top, you know. Like they do that with video games sometimes too. They'll take like an old Japanese game and turn it into English, and it might not be great, but it's better than nothing. But I think they do that with movies sometimes too.
Well, that'd be interesting, yeah, because I feel like that would, I don't think they dub every Jackie Chan movie. There are a ton of them, and to pay Jackie Chan twice to be like, do the whole thing in Chinese and then immediately do it in English.
Yeah,
he still struggles with anyways. It's not like he's great at English. Have you seen the bloopers? No. He's terrible.
No, he's still better than he was at the beginning. Like Drunken Master time frame around those, it's like not quite there.
Yeah, Rumble in the Bronx, he wasn't hitting that English.
Yeah, it's just like, just do some backflips. It's all right.
Yeah, that's all you're here for, anyways, Jack. Just fall on a bunch of stuff, look silly.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting that it can drive you away from a thing, you know,
and an amazing thing. Right? Yeah. An amazing thing that is like, it could build a whole new culture around movies that you actually enjoy. When we're done this call, I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to watch Space Sweepers. Now that it's dubbed, I'll give it a shot, because the story looked really, really interesting to me. So I'm going to go back and watch that. But what is your thoughts? Do you hate dubbed? Or would you, especially when they have bad voices, or would you rather watch that subbed? Or not at all?
Yeah, that's the tough thing. It's like, well, I've actually had that experience where, like I said, I like Sword Art Online. It's really like one of the only animes where I was like, this is a really good thing that I enjoy. I've seen some other ones, you know, like throughout the years, and I was like, yeah, okay, I get anime, I understand. But this one's really good. And they came out with the second season. And when it first came out on Netflix, it wasn't dubbed. And I just didn't watch it. So it actually has in the past, like I was just like, well, I like the first season. Oh, I'll watch this. Oh, it's not dubbed. Wow.
So they missed out on your view count.
And they eventually came out with a dubbed version. It did eventually arrive with the dub. So then I did watch it, but it's like, it did push me enough away where I was like, okay, I don't want to read this.
So financially, I mean, I go back to the money. It's got to cost a lot, right? It has to cost a lot of money to pay all those people to do those voices. Not as much as the actual actors, but it's got to pay some. So would you get enough extra viewers because of that?
Well, see,
and the deciding factor in everything is, are we going to get our money back?
Right. Well, and that's a big, a talk in the movie industry where a lot of the movies that are made in the US or here in Canada, we now appeal to an Asian market because there's so many people there that it take, like, you make an extra $1 billion in the foreign market from where we are. But the other way, it's like, we have like us and America mixed together is like, a fifth of their population. Is it worth that time?
Do you think they pick better voices for the dubbing? Do you think it's better?
What do you mean?
They actually almost, like, the voice looks like it matches the character. We're just really bad, or they're really bad at getting English people to do good voices for our dubs.
It's the guy, the secretary outside, the administrative assistant.
They didn't care at all.
Just it's fine. They'll watch it. It's fine.
Yeah,
they're starving for Asian culture. Just come on in and just say some stuff.
But
because they dub Bollywood stuff too.
See, and I bet like Marvel, when they put a movie to Asia, it's got to be they've put some money into it.
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes they add scenes, or like apparently a big part of that Transformers movie, the weird one with the dinosaurs.
I never watched it. Didn't appeal to me. But it was weird.
But the reason that it didn't appeal to you was because they did it that way to try and get the Transformers movie into the Asian market.
Oh,
so like a lot of that dinosaur-y like stuff, it was like supposed to be like Voltron kind of, giant robot monster. Like, it was already Transformers, but those are very North America where they're like, oh, I'm a pickup truck. Instead they were like, oh, I'm a dinosaur, and it's like, oh, I like that.
I thought it was to touch base on the Beast Wars that they had for a while there.
Yeah, which is why they still had it here. But a main part of it, apparently, from what I read before the movie, I could be wrong completely. Anything that I say on these things,
let's just pretend it's right. It's 100% accurate.
Yeah, 100% accurate all the time.
Yeah, we got it from the source. The director of the movie, he told
me.
We're tight with Steven Spielberg. Is that a movie?
I don't know. It might have been Michael Bay.
It was.
Yeah, Michael Bay.
I'm sorry, Steven. Sorry. We're on first name basis.
Yeah, Stevie, boy.
Stevie, sorry, man.
You met Michael Bay at the Michael convention. But and that was part of the reason that I think in that movie they actually went somewhere, like to China, or they ended up in an Asian country. I haven't seen that movie in years, but apparently that was part of that, was like trying to break into that market more, because there's so many people willing to watch stuff that comes from here. It's kind of like the opposite, where they, like, anytime that we get something dubbed, it's because they're like, throw them a bone, they like our stuff, like they'll watch this one.
Now, do you think, like, in India they almost all speak English? You could easily dub an Indian movie with an Indian person.
Right.
Do you think that's the same in China or in Taiwan or any Asian country that's making a movie? Do you think
they speak English?
Do you think there's a way heavier level of people that speak English in those places? So like we wouldn't have to dub as many movies when we send it over to Japan. We don't have to dub it, but we do need to eliminate scenes that they don't. I don't know if that's Japan, China for sure. Germany
has problems with it. Like there's a lot of different countries that have different problems with certain things that we don't mind.
So do you think they have to dub it more, or do you think they leave it English because more of them speak English?
I think, that's the thing. Even with India, there is a large portion of the population that learn, like, a lot of it is because of the influence of those movies in the first place, is part of the reason they wanted to learn English. Plus they were probably told, if you want to work internationally, most like politicians and people like that, they've learned English so that they can kind of all intermingle. But there are big chunks of India that, like, the most interesting about India is that you go from like one state to the next state and it's completely different language, and it could be like barely. So there are big chunks where nobody speaks English, like in those smaller villages and stuff.
I guess so. So they may dub it, but I just wonder if they're a large enough target audience where they're like, we're willing to pay the extra money to dub that movie, or to dub that movie for that small, very small audience.
Yeah, so, I wonder because there a lot of Indian people know more than one language, and I think there's some like main ones. There's like different levels of the languages, and I think there's like an overarching one that most people learn. Well, you know, so they might just dub it into that.
Here's what kind of sparked my thought, right? When I illegally download movies, sometimes I'll get one from China, and it has Chinese subtitles on the bottom, but they're completely English speaking people. So do they show both? Do they have one? What do they do there? That's
yeah. I wonder if they just go with the subtitles. Well, because I think people expect, because of the massive influence of Hollywood and stuff like that in places like that, where that's the only North American or British kind of stuff that they get. Or this is probably an old school way of thinking. I'm sure they get lots of crap now. We all have the internet. But back in the day when it was like all you saw of North America was in movies, and they were like, oh, I want to move there one day, you know, the American dream kind of stuff. I wonder if, not great. Yeah,
it's not that great.
It's fun. Yeah, you got way cooler stuff there.
Yeah, you might want to stay with, we want to go to you.
Yeah. Well, I thought that, when I was in Egypt, our guide was like, we're like, wow, how do you like living around all this stuff? He's like, oh, we're here all the time. I want to see Niagara Falls. That seems really cool. And we're standing beside the pyramid, you know, like, so
no,
I guess
this is way cooler.
Yeah, this is way cooler.
That's just water.
Yeah, like lots of water. But
I mean, yeah, it moves over an edge. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I don't even know what I was saying. I think that sometimes it's expected that it'll be in English and they're just used to the subtitles at this point.
Yeah, or there's a larger majority of them that speak English.
Yeah.
Right, because there's not a lot of aspiration to move to China, right? There isn't.
Right.
But there's a lot of
like I want to visit.
Yeah, for sure, right? But there's a lot of people that will learn other languages, mostly English, to come here.
Mm-hmm.
So that drive is there, and that's a lot of why India does it, because of, you know, they all have their own mother tongues, but collectively it's easier if they all know English. That way you might not speak my language, but we both speak English, and that also opens you up to other opportunities in Canada, in the United States, working abroad, working in India for an American company, and doing that. It really opens up opportunities for them.
Because we kind of set it up that way when we kind of took everything over. Was like, we'll teach you all English, and now it's like, well, we'll just learn English because everybody knows it. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it works out for me because I'm not even good with English, so me learning another language.
I learned French for years. I got nothing. I can read it, sort of.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Je m'appelle l'oiseau dans la toilette. You're welcome. French people.
I should have dubbed that.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I think there's other places where they're probably just used to the subtitles. It's just what they see in these movies, and they want to see them, but they got to put up with the subtitles
and properly hear the actors, because that's the other problem, right?
Yeah. Well, because like I said, that robot one I'm watching is like, the voices don't match. They're not even close to what you like. They're speaking, and you're like, that's not a voice that comes out of your mouth. You know?
Yeah, there's kind of a correlation between what a person looks like and what they sound like, and when you hear them speak for the first time, sometimes just like, oh, is that the sounds that you make?
That's what we're going with, huh? All right. Yeah.
It very rarely happens in real life, though, right? Like, you kind of generally expect the voice. Generally, there are some people that very strange to hear their vocal sounds, but
yeah. But on the whole, it kind of fits. Well, that's the thing. Like, especially if you have multiple like an actor going through multiple things, and they dub them with a different voice, it's like your brain doesn't compute that because you're just used to hearing the dub of the other one, and then it's very. When I started watching that other show, it was like I was like, that voice is way better. You should go back and redub the other show with this voice because this is a better voice, But I think it's interesting that we, as North American and like European people, we're like, no, you need to dub it. And with them, we're just like, we'll just throw your words at the bottom. It's fine.
No, I don't think we say anything. I think they do it for us. I don't think we're like, we really need to see your movies. There's not a lot of that. I think they do it for us because they're like, oh, here you go. Here you go.
Yeah, enjoy.
North American people, you get to see our movies now too. You don't know what we speak.
Well, and I think the thing with Netflix right now is that I think that Space Sweepers and this robot one, the Better Than Humans or Better Than Us, are Netflix shows. And I think that they're mixing their international shows into our shows now and just dubbing them so that we'll actually watch them.
That's kind of cool about if that's true, that's kind of a cool thing that Netflix does, is to kind of bring new things to you, things you wouldn't know about. So good on you, Netflix, for bringing things to me that I never would have known existed, and then you handed it to me, and I'm gonna watch it because it looks
great. We're gonna watch people cleaning space. Watching robots robot.
I don't think they're sweeping though. I don't think they're actually sweeping.
I'm pretty sure they're sweeping.
It's just the WALL-E robot just sweeping up the ground all the time, getting upset at WALL-E for
floating through space.
Really good movie for about 2 hours.
I like it.
But yeah.
So I think personally, I would prefer a dub. Even a dub with bad voices
would be better than subs.
Yeah. Because I just I have ADD, so it's like I can't watch the movie.
Here's where you can let us know in the comments down below what you would like, whether it be subtitled or dubbed or not at all. You're not going to watch either one of those, and you're just going to you knowingly are going to miss out on amazing content.
Yeah, maybe you're super edgy and you just watch Fight Club over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
That's a terrible
movie. That's it. I love that movie, but not over and over and over and over and over.
It was interesting. It made me feel weird. I didn't like it.
We'll talk about that in another video.
Yeah.
Why Mike hates Fight Club. Yeah. Movies that Mike thinks make him feel what? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
That's anymore. The one. But yeah.
Just leave it in.
So other than what I've learned from this conversation is that I want to dub a movie sometime where we can be multiple actors in a movie. We'll write our own script based on what they're doing. We just watch it in silence and go, yeah, that's what they're doing. This is what they're talking about. I know it.
I like it.
And then we'll get Diana to do as many voices as we can.
Exactly. And we should do it in 5-minute chunks. So we watch 5 minutes in silence, write what we think it's going to say, and then do it. And then watch the next 5 and then go, oh no, we have to make this match, and then do the next 5 minutes.
We have to make this work. The end of the movie is totally different.
Did you know this was a zombie movie? I had no idea. Yeah.
That'll be the most fun.
Yeah. Oh, something I have noticed before we go. Korean zombie movies are really well dubbed.
Oh, is that the Train to Busan?
Yeah. And then I watched another one called #Alive. And it was also well dubbed.
So there you go. Are they subbed or dubbed?
Dubbed. You can do dubbed. You can do subbed. I did dubbed, of course.
There's a couple movies that you can watch if you enjoy dubbed that you might not have seen before, but give them a chance because they're good. Eric says, and whatever Eric says, just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Thank you. Just do it.
All right. Like and subscribe. Comment down below, and we'll see you next time we decide to chat.
Bye. We'll talk soon. Bye.